A great body you have to work at every day. You have to stretch it to the limit.
I thought I was going to graduate and I was going to go right back into a movie a year, and I thought...
So get smart. Join Rockford Health Club today and get 50% off dues.
Is a tough one to pay, and not everybody handles it well. You had a problem, in a way, at the '84 Olympics, right?
Well, it was a real paradox because I was split between being completely flattered and very embarrassed, because when I was there for the opening ceremonies, and we were sitting in the front down by, by the stadium where everybody was, and every team that walked by
From around the world.
From the first team to the last team, recognized me and ran towards me and gave me the pins from their country and hats from their country. And the TV stations were getting very angry at me because things weren't running smoothly. They would walk by and then they would stop and all come running to the end, and they were all just screaming, "Brooke, Brooke." And I was really embarrassed because I was flattered, and yet I wanted to run up to them, but everybody was telling me to stay back. And finally my mother just said, this is for them to do what they want, and I took
Check out the label. It's the Brooke look. Lookers and lookalikes and look-to-be lookalikes straining at the stanchions to look at the real thing.
What's the best part of Brooke? Her eyes, her body. She's perfect.
Gavin ran my security detail for years and years.
Ask you the virginity question.
Even though she's only 20 years old, she has often been called the most beautiful woman in the world. Brooke Shields was practically born in front of the cameras, and she modeled her way through her childhood. At age 12, she made her major film debut in the controversial Pretty Baby. The exotic movie Blue Lagoon followed a few years later. And then the teenage romance, Endless Love. Today, Brooke is a student at Princeton. She has just launched her own jeanswear fashion line, and she has authored a new book entitled On Your Own.
Last night I read On Your Own. And if I can confess to you, when I picked it up, because of all the press you get for being such a good lady, I was skeptical. It seemed from all that I'd read about you and just the nature of the book that everything was too perfect in your life. And yet when I read it, it was full of good advice and it made a lot of sense. Where does it all come from?
Well, first of all, thank you. And it's just, I think the knowledge that I've gained has just been because I've gone through it. I mean, I went through all the problems, and I'm still going through all the problems, and I've been able to, I'm giving a first-hand account of it. And then, of course, my mother has been a very strong support for me, and my aunt who's with me, and my friends who I'm very close to have really helped. And I think that it's just a matter of surrounding yourself by people that you love and that support you.
You share a lot of yourself, kind of intimately in this book. And one of the things that I found interesting was you say when you go to college, when you leave home, you have to redefine relationships with your family. Is that true in your life?
It is hard, I think. It was hard when it first started to happen, and yet as far as my relationship with my mother is concerned, it's gotten better, and as far as my relationship with my father is concerned, it's gotten better. It's sort of, there's not as much of a gap between, say, the parent and the child. Now we're even more on a friendly basis. And my father and I can talk much more openly now. And actually what happened was when I wrote the book, I said things that I would not have really been able to say to him in the book.
Like what?
Well, just about how he has reacted towards the business and towards my work. He was never a strong supporter of my work, and he was always afraid it was going to change me and change my life, and I knew all along that it wasn't going to, and then I still had my morals as far as school is concerned and as far as the way I wanted to live my life, but I never tried to fight with it. I never tried to tell him or to stand up for what I wanted. I waited and just played it out, and then when I wrote it in the book, he read the book and he called me and said, well, you know I am proud of you, and you know I do like what you're doing. I just want to know that you're still my little girl, and more of our relationship came
together.
out.
How do you fight, and how have you fought the pitfalls of this business? You don't drink, you don't do drugs, you express openly your feelings about protecting your virginity. Now those are things that in this day and age a lot of people don't hold quite so dear. Why do you?
Because they're important to me, and I think I have been able to see the pitfalls first, and have been able to avoid them.
Through whose eyes, though, Brooke? Through yours or your mom's? Or?
Well, my mother has really helped me, saying, she's always, I think one of the important things is she's never said, you really don't do it, you can. She's never really said.
That may be for you.
And she's never said, you absolutely cannot do this. I can tell by her lips.
Not only your lips, this dimple right here. That's the Brooke Shields
I just
dimple.
won't